Greetings and welcome. This is a video report number 1, of the Energy Security Program of the NATO Association of Canada, and I am Robert Kocharyan, Director of that program. This report is recorded 29 August 2020, and the title is Armenia-Azerbaijan Conflict Flares Up Again, Implications for Energy Security. As you may know, for many years there has been a militarized conflict in the South Caucasus between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Here is a nice historical map to locate the two countries over a region that is historically called Nagorno-Karabakh, sometimes mountainous Karabakh, and it is an integral part of Azerbaijan under international law, but has been occupied by Armenian military personnel along with adjacent districts in Azerbaijan, amounting to 20% of the country's national territory, since the early 1990s. After the war ended in 1994, Armenian authorities advocated self-determination for Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh. They refrained from claiming that it was or should be part of Armenia proper. After the war ended in 1994, Armenian authorities advocated self-determination for Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh. They refrained from claiming that it was or should be part of Armenia proper. Even Robert Kocharyan on the left, president of Armenia from 1998 to 2008, of Karabakhi origin himself, made no such claim. Nor did his successor from 2008 to 2018, Serzh Sargsyan. In 2008, Nikol Pashinyan, the current prime minister on the right, had supported a different candidate against Sargsyan, whom Kocharyan had handpicked to succeed himself. Pashinyan was jailed under the Sargsyan regime in the wake of the 2008 elections for, quote, organizing mass disorders, unquote, in protest of allegedly rigged results. After his presidential term ended in 2018, Sargsyan tried to move to the Prime Minister's office. The opposition saw this as a power grab and organized large-scale protests against him. Pashinyan led a successful color revolution against Sargsyan. Now Sargsyan and Kocharyan have each been indicted under the Pashinyan regime, the former for embezzlement, the latter for, quote, overthrowing the constitutional order of Armenia, unquote, in connection with the 2008 crackdown on protests in which Pashinyan was jailed. So it was a radical turn when the new Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan declared publicly in August 2019 that the occupied territories of Azerbaijan were part of Armenia. This claim had never been voiced officially since the original conflict itself, and it also violated 4 UN Security Council resolutions. In January 2020, the Armenian government publicly demanded that the local Karabakhi administration should participate in talks on an equal footing with Azerbaijan and Armenia. This position effectively represented a rejection of the so-called Madrid principles of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which had been charged with resolving the conflict since the early 1990s. According to the Madrid principles, such participation should have been complemented by the presence of representatives of the former Azerbaijani population of the region that had been chased out. All these developments set the stage for the outbreak of military hostilities, even though the year 2019 had seen fewer casualties between the two sides. But clashes broke out on July 12th and 13th, leaving dozens dead, including high-ranking Azerbaijani officers and civilians. Here you see the region of the new conflict indicated by the arrow in the upper left quadrant, quite some distance from Karabakh, and the first time since 1994 when such clashes have broken out nowhere near Nagorno-Karabakh. The hostilities broke out this time rather in that northwest region of Azerbaijan, which is called Tovuz. It was not immediately clear to observers why Armenia should choose to launch hostilities in this rather remote corner of the map, until they realized that significant infrastructure passed through the valley beneath the mountains where the hostility occurred. It is not too far from the city of Ganja, which you see marked on the map, with a population of 300,000, Azerbaijan's second largest city. Indeed, between Russia and the nearest corner of occupied Nagorno-Karabakh, this valley where Ganja lies is the only place between the Russian Arctic and the Persian Gulf where such infrastructure may pass without obstruction. Because this infrastructure project passed through this valley near where the city of Ganja is located, it has been called the Ganja Corridor. There you see on the map the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil export pipeline, which runs parallel to the South Caucasus pipeline for natural gas. In addition, also passing through the same corridor are the main Baku-Tbilisi highway between the capitals of Azerbaijan and Georgia, as well as the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway into Turkey. Due to the location of the hostilities, not far from such vital infrastructure, some speculation has revolved around the idea that Russia is behind it all. Different ideas have been proposed concerning the timing. For example, Azerbaijan has now become the largest gas supplier to Turkey, passing Russia. Yet Turkey is also diversifying its purchases of liquefied natural gas, becoming less dependent on Russia. The Blue Stream pipeline from Russia to Turkey has remained empty after coming back online several weeks ago following scheduled maintenance. Turkey has also announced an offshore gas discovery in its sector of the Black Sea. Russia still maintains a military base with more than 3,000 Russian soldiers at Gyumri in Armenia, roughly 160 kilometers, 100 miles, from where the hostilities occurred, and also an airbase near the capital Yerevan. Armenia is a member of the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization, and Russia is integrating Armenian armed forces into the structure of its southern military district, including the formation of a joint Russian-Armenian ground force. Nor is this the only indicator of Russian influence in Armenia. The Armenian energy sector itself is heavily dominated by Russian companies, up to 80% according to some estimates, and Russian banks equally dominate the Armenian financial sector. Is it possible that Armenia's Prime Minister Pashinyan unleashed the new hostilities without Russia's approval? It would have anyway been impossible for him to do it without their knowledge. What is clear is that the clashes and the preceding political declarations by Pashinyan have created a new and unstable situation on the ground, and that it will be very difficult, if not impossible, to return to the previous equilibrium. The energy infrastructure is nevertheless stable for now. Thank you for listening to video report number 1 of the Energy Security Program, NATO Association of Canada, 29 August 2020, Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict flares up again, implications for energy security. This is Robert Kocharyan.